Welcome to this week's Ask GMBN,
where we try and answer your bike-related questions and hopefully make you better and faster out on the trails.
Yeah, we love getting them, and this week we had absolutely loads, so thanks for that. You can always use the hashtag AskGMBN.
Or send them in social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There's a whole pile of them.
Loads of places. So we'll get this kicked off. First one comes in from Powell Wheelgus, and it's a really long question, but basically he's asking about what you can do on a certain bike. He's got a 29er cross-country bike and he's worried about going off gnarly terrain, big drop-offs. How do you know the limit of your bike?
That's quite a hard one to answer, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I guess with experience, you realise that if you start going too big, bikes, you know, wheels, things like that can start breaking. I guess tyres are a pretty good indicator. If you're riding cross-country tyres and you start burping them or ripping them, then that's probably getting to the sort of extreme level of what your bike's capable of doing without getting damaged. Okay, the next one comes from Ross G964 on Twitter, and he asks, how do you get motivated to train?
Music helps.
Yeah, I used to visualise for racing, like someone that I didn't like getting beaten by. That was my biggest motivation.
Do you want to say who it was?
I can't tell you who, no. Tanner Zelm asks, what are the advantages and disadvantages of clip pedals compared to normal flat pedals?
That's a good one. I actually changed from flats to clips not recently, a few years ago now, but the big thing that you do notice is you're a lot more efficient when you're climbing, and also if you're riding steep and sort of quite rough terrain, then your feet feel way more fixed, they're not bouncing about. It's just one less thing to think about. Yeah,
I notice it on, say, long cross-country rides. I definitely feel like with clips, you get that bit of a pull, you know, on the pedal. Your legs don't get quite as tired, I don't think. We've done a video on the subject, so you should maybe check that out. Today we're going to open a massive can of worms to talk about clips versus flats, the two different types of pedals that mountain bikers use. I've come from the background using flat pedals for 15 years.
As a seasoned downhill World Cup racer, I've predominantly spent most of my time racing on clip.
Joshua Dubal says, I'm looking into buying an indoor trainer. I would like to know from you guys whether it is more effective to improve your fitness on a trainer or on the trails.
That's an interesting one, I would say. The turbo trainer is certainly very good because you've got to do your set session. It's very consistent. Every sort of effort or interval that you do would be quite matched. You're not going to have any uneven ground to get over, but at the same time, it's not as fun, is it, Neil?
Yeah, I definitely think it comes down to personal preference, really.
But what we could actually suggest is that you check out a video on maybe how to train for long climbs. That could be a good one. A few intervals in there, pretty painful session. Go out, try that, see if you enjoy it, and then if you still want that turbo trainer, then make the purchase. It's time for the quick fire round. Hit me with some questions.
Yuo Hiltonen, how old were you guys when you started riding?
12 for mountain bikes.
14 mountain bikes, properly. Yukon Peter Neff, what are the benefits of carbon fibre handlebars other than the weight?
Takes away some of the vibrations that you might feel and just sort of releases the pressure a little bit.
Neji Martin, are you guys planning to sell those cool jerseys you have?
Yes, coming soon. We're just looking for the right manufacturer to make the right quantity at the right quality. But in the meantime, check out the shop. You can get some sweet swag like this.
Get your sweater like this as well.
Even a bobble hat if you want it.
Scott Campbell, what's your favourite pro bike?
This is a difficult one. Josh Bryceland's V10, I've got to call it. It's a good looking bike, downhill bike, and he thrashes that.
Nice bike. I think Neil Donohue's GT Sanction, that's my favourite pro bike.
I've heard of that guy. Now Neil, last week we did suggest that some viewers send in videos of them riding and we'll review it and give them some top tips. And we've got just that, haven't we?
Yeah, it's cool. Little feature this. This one comes in from Claver Camp and it's his mate jumping his downhill bike on some dirt jumps. Let's have a look at the video. On a downhill bike, it's going to try and suck up the takeoff. So what you got to do is really pump. And you can see actually he starts off the whole thing too early. So he's really low as he hits the takeoff and now his hips are up and forward. The big thing for me is you can see him go toes down as the back wheel's still probably, you know, halfway up the takeoff. So the rear wheel hasn't touched the takeoff. So basically watch our how to bunny hop video and how to make height on jumps video and look at my feet as I hit the jump. You should be heels down all the way up the takeoff until your rear wheel gets to the top. That's it for Ask GMBN. Leave your questions down below in the comments or on social media.
Yeah, there's a big list of places you can leave them now. For more great videos on GMBN, why not click up there for this week's Dirt Shed Show?
And if you click just down there, that'll take you through to the jumping playlist. Loads of cool how-to videos in there. How to whip, how to make height on jumps, loads of cool stuff.
And of course, as ever, don't forget to subscribe right in the middle. Click there, you get a free video every day of the week.
Give us a thumb up
And
if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thumb up, like.